Oh, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. It's 7 o'clock. It's the last day of March. Oh, so we're in spring. So, but welcome if you're here. Yeah, don't have much to talk about this week. I don't know. Seems like a slow news or a slow week in news. Just the regular sort of shit going on. Of course, Musk is public enemy number one for all the woke tards that want to attack Teslas and stuff. But we're not really going to talk about that. Maybe a little bit, but really we're going to talk about Trump uh, saying that he would run for a third term. It's kind of funny. What's up, Joe? Greetings from Unalaska, Alaska. That's a real place, everyone. Yeah, third term for Trump, which is weird in a way because he'll be in his 80s if he were to be able to pull that off. Only one president I'm aware of is ever able to do that during World War II. It's Roosevelt, but other than that, I don't think it's been done. But I'm not great with the American politics. So either way, it'd be kind of funny if he does that. So we'll talk about that. Also, Mark Carney, if you're unfamiliar, if you're not looking at Canadian politics, the douchebag who's leading the Liberal Party now in absence of Trudeau, has now I think his whole plan is to copy all of what Pierre Poilievre's going to do, all his plans. So now he's saying he's got a big housing plan. So we'll talk about that, and we'll see we'll try and break it down, see what it's all about. Also, Germany is kind of, I don't know if they've announced it, but they're kind of saying that they're going to be rebuilding their military. Oh, we know where that led to. 80 and like 100 and something years ago. That was a bit of rough times, but yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see where we end up with that. And to finish it off, I got a nice little funny video from one of my favorite sites, Clown World on X, of some disgusting street food. Call it that. I'm not sure if it's made with food. I'm not sure if it's food by the time it's done, but disgusting, and we'll laugh about it. And that'll be that. If you're joining us for the first time and you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, do hit the subscribe if you like the content. If you don't, well, fuck off. No, I'm kidding. Don't fuck off. Just watch and think about it. Ponder your life. Maybe, potentially at some point, subscribe to the channel. And if you miss any part of the podcast and you don't want to go back and watch the whole thing, I don't blame you. But you can check out small clips from the podcast that I'll post during the week between Tuesday and Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So look for those. And share, like, comment, all that kind of stuff. Engage with that. Help the small channel. And And without further ado, let's get on, Joe. What are you saying there? Trump and Vance will just swap places. No, we're going to talk about that. That doesn't seem like it's a viable solution either. Because, I don't know. We'll talk about it. I'll give you a little bit. All right, let me swap cameras here. Boop. Here we go. All right, let's get on this first thing here. Okay, so Trump is talking about a third term. I mean, there's been jokes before about him never leaving office. Bill Maher used to pull that bullshit out all the time, and he left. He lost, legitimately, illegitimately, whatever way you want to. Whatever way the cookie crumbles for you. But either way, he left. And now he's talking about potentially running for a third term if the people want him to. This is Trumpisms here. I'm going to read this article. It's the National Post. So complete dog shit. National Post is one of the worst. So let's see what they have to say. So Trump not joking about trying to seek third presidency. Okay. President Donald Trump said Sunday that I'm not joking about trying to serve a third term. The clearest indication he's considering ways to breach a constitutional barrier against continuing to lead the country after his second term ends in early 2029. There are methods which you could do it, Trump said in a telephone interview with NBC News. He also said it is far too early to think about it. The 22nd Amendment, which was added to the Constitution in 1951, so not that long ago, realistically, after President Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected 4 times in a row, says no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. Now, I wonder why they did that. So, you can make arguments all you want as to why a president shouldn't serve more than 2 terms, but if they're the most popular choice, they're doing a good job, and they continue to be elected, I don't see the problem in it. I mean, now if they were doing things, and this is where checks and balances come in, if they're doing things to change the, basically change the rules that would allow them to govern more with an iron fist or something like that, then yeah, of course I would disagree with the ability to stay in office too long. But as we all know, when a president's in office for 4 years, they can't really get a lot done. They get in office the second term, which is usually what happens. There's been a number of times where it doesn't. And then they can do some stuff, typically, but only for a little while, and then they're kind of on the way out anyway. So it's like that 8 years seems like a long time, but kind of isn't. Not a lot. Doesn't seem like anyway. A lot really gets done. Sometimes things get done in the background where you find out later that some pretty sketchy bills were passed. But anyways, I digress. Okay, so NBC's Kristen Welker asked Trump if one potential avenue to a third term was having Vice President J.D. Vance run for the top job and then pass the baton to him. And he said, well, that's one, Trump responded, but there are others too. There are others. Can you tell me another? Welker asked. No, Trump replied. No, sorry. He's going to keep that one close to his chest. Vance's office did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Associated Press. Derek Muller, a professor of election law at Notre Dame, noted that the 12th Amendment, which was ratified in 1804, says no person constitutionally ineligible to the office of president shall be eligible to that of vice president of the United States. So that amendment says if you're ineligible to run for president, meaning you've now done 2 terms and you're not allowed to do another term, you're no longer allowed to run for vice president as well. Probably set up to get around that little dodgy exercise there of, getting yourself in there as vice president, and maybe, something happens to the president. I don't know. Things happen to people all the time, apparently. And and then suddenly you're president again. So I think that was probably put in there just to protect against something like that. So it doesn't look like that's a little runaround for him either, unless he can figure out a way around that too. But I don't know. So Mueller said that indicates that if Trump is not eligible to run for president again because of the 22nd Amendment, he's not eligible to run for vice president either. I don't think there's any one weird trick to getting around presidential term limits, Mueller said. In addition, pursuing a third term would require extraordinary acquiescence by federal and state officials, not to mention the courts and voters themselves. So that's where it kind of gets a little bit a little dodgy there. If it's saying voters themselves, I mean, if you have a very popular president, like I said back in World War II when Roosevelt was able to go multiple terms past, it was because he was a wartime president and he was popular and all that. So maybe there's some way to do it, but I don't know. I don't see without like screwing around with the Constitution a little bit right now or ratifying something that he could get around it. I'm not going to allude to what the article goes on to. I'll just read it because they talk about something else here that kind of makes a little bit of sense to me. So it's funny that I called National Post a dog shit, whatever outlet, and I actually don't mind this article. He suggested that Trump is talking about a third term for political reasons to show as much strength as possible. A lame duck president like Donald Trump has every incentive in the world to make it seem like he's not a lame duck, he said. So when he's saying a lame duck president, it's not what you think. It's not like an actual insult like that. It just means that he has no second term now. This is it. It's one, they will say that often for the second term of a president just because they can't do anything past that anyway. So it's almost like they're phoning it in at times. But Trump's obviously not doing that. He's got a mandate, and he's trying to get a lot of things done in this term, which would make it reasonable as to why he would be looking to get a second term if he has a number of things that he feels he's been mandated to do and then doesn't really have the ability to get them all done in one term. So Trump, who would be 82 at the end of his second term, was asked whether he would want to keep serving in the toughest job in the country at that point. Well, I like working, the president said. You can dislike the guy all you want, but I don't think his work ethic is in question. He really is a kind of a workaholic. He suggested that Americans would go along with a third term because of his popularity. He falsely claimed to have the highest poll numbers of any Republican for the last 100 years. Gallup data shows President George W. Bush reaching a 90% approval rating after the attacks on September 11th. His father, George H.W. Bush, hit 89% after the Gulf War in 1991. So not really close, but that's Trump. He blusters. That's fine. What's a few percentage points among friends? Trump has maxed out at 47% in Gallup data during his second term, despite claiming to be in the high 70s in many polls, in the real polls. I think it's somewhere in the middle there. It's probably not as low as 47, but it's definitely not as high as 70. I think it's there's probably a realistic number there, somewhere in the middle there. Trump has mused before about serving longer than 2 terms, generally with jokes to friendly audiences. Am I allowed to run again? He said during a House Republican retreat in January. So anyways, they tried to reach out to a bunch of reps and stuff to get comment, but they couldn't. So, So maybe he runs for a third term. I'm not sure. If he does, I don't know. I'm Canadian, so I mean, he is screwing us up a little bit up here. So, I'd have a reason to maybe not want him to run for a third term, but depends on the what's going on with the political sphere in or the landscape in the States at that point. So, but I like a lot of the initiatives he's pushing. So, I'm not totally against it anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments. Robert. Hello, brother. Good to see you, man. What are you saying here? Antipodes. Howdy from Antipodes. Fine, he can be the Speaker of the House, and then next president and vice can step down. That'd be funny, actually. That's pretty funny. He just becomes Speaker of the House, and then they both just step down and let him take over again. Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. Do they ever have referendums, plus plebiscites in the States? Jeez, what is? Man, you're a smart guy or something. You pull out these words. I don't know what's a plebiscite. I'd have to look that up. Referendums, we do those in Canada. I don't know in the States, but we do them in Canada. The last one we had was a Quebec referendum when they wanted to separate. And now it looks like there might be one, potentially there could be one from Alberta trying to do the same thing, right? Separate. Oh, what am I doing here? What else? You need a congressional supermajority and a convention of states with a 2/3 vote. Oh, okay. Well, makes sense. I didn't know that. I don't really know U.S. law that well. I know a little bit. Probably more than you guys know about Canadian law. Cool. Pretty had epic late season rains here. Oh, we just got pounded with rain for the last 2 days. It was crazy. A lot of rain. We do have a congressional midterm coming. Yeah, you're right. Your last comment there. I'm Canadian for now, for a number of reasons, actually. I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how this election goes. Might have to make an exodus. Might have to come be a. I might have to come get a. What do you call it? What's that? Whatever. Like a status with you guys. I might have to come down to the States and refugee status. That's what I'm looking for. I'm all for UDI, Alberta as a republic. Well, it might become another state. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't think that'll happen, but I think we need some change in this vote. Hopefully it happens. So we'll see. But if it doesn't happen, shit, everything could be on the table. I don't know. Alberta seems pretty serious. People are pretty serious around there about the last decade of dog shit government. So we're just sick of it. And they're more sick of it than probably the rest of us. But yeah. Anyways, all right. Let's get on the next thing here. Speaking of Canadian stuff. So Mark Carney is, he's unapologetically stealing Pierre Poilievre's ideas and, platforms. Now he's talking about housing. Now he's going to fix housing. Oh, God, this guy's such a shill. Let me read this article. This is CBC. So That's our Canadian equivalent to your CNN or whatever other dog shit media outlet you have across the world from anyone else watching anywhere else, like you, Robert. But let's see what they have to say. Carney unveils signature housing plan he says will double pace of home building in Canada. It's a signature housing plan. Oh, that's cool. Liberal leader Mark Carney. I love how they just say Liberal leader Mark Carney. He's actually right now the prime minister, so whatever. But Liberal leader Mark Carney unveiled his signature housing policy Monday, promising to double the number of homes built annually in Canada to nearly 500,000. My new Liberal government is flipping the script on housing with a new approach to build faster, build smarter, and to build more affordably, Carney said during a campaign stop in Vaughan, Ontario. We're going to unleash the power of public and private cooperation at a scale not seen in generations, he added. That almost sounds like something Trump would say. We're gonna unleash it at a public and private scale no one's ever seen for generations. To get that done, a Carney-led Liberal government says it would create an entity called Build Canada Homes, BCH, that would act as a developer overseeing the construction of affordable housing in Canada. Describing BCH as a lean, mission-driven organization, Carney said it will provide tens of billions in financing for new affordable housing projects across the country. Carney explained that the BCH will be a standalone entity rather than being placed under the stewardship of the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, or CMHC, because big organizations work better if they have a sole purpose. To get affordable home building started, BCH will supply $25 billion in debt financing and $1 billion in equity financing to innovate Canadian prefabricated home builders. A Liberal Party backgrounder explained that the BCH will also issue bulk orders of housing units from Canadian modular and prefabricated home builders in order to create sustained demand. Those prefab homes and the modular homes are pretty cool. I mean, as far as, big cities and, in areas where it's really expensive to buy homes, it might be a really good sort of idea or a good, hedge against that. I know, like, just if you're speaking about Canada, the Toronto market's nuts as far as home buying and just, the affordability of buying a home there. So getting a little modular or prefab home would seem to make a lot of sense. Under Carney's plan, BCH will also provide $10 billion in low-cost financing and grants that it will funnel into different affordable home building streams. A mix of grants and loans to the tune of $4 billion will be directed into long-term fixed-rate financing for affordable homes. The other $6 billion in grants will be earmarked for quickly building deeply affordable housing, supportive housing, and Indigenous housing and shelters. About $2 billion of that $6 billion deeply affordable housing money will be used to help build housing for students and seniors in partnership with the provinces and territories. We will immediately develop homelessness reduction targets with every province and territory to inform housing first investments, improve access to treatment, and end encampments community by community. Okay, well, you know what? This sounds like a little page pulled from Paul Revera's plan, except it's got, obviously he's a finance guy, so he's got some he's got numbers in there. Okay, but this all just seems like horseshit to me. This guy was part of the Trudeau Liberal government. He's a WEF guy. Doesn't seem like he gives too much of a shit about Canada. I mean, he's basically, he's been abroad for years. And now I just think he's just saying anything he has to say to win. I don't know if any of these promises are actually something they'll follow through with. But, if they were to win, please no. But if they were to win and he did implement some of this stuff, it sounds okay. It doesn't sound horrible. So we'll have to see how it goes, I guess. But either way, this guy is just a copycat clown. He's just, it's frustrating for me to see that people are kind of getting hoodwinked a little bit on this now. You get a little fresh face in the Liberal government and suddenly, like, people are like, oh, all the libtards that just, no matter what, they'll vote Liberal. They're like, yeah, it's a new guy. It's the same shit. It's going to be the same shit. If you vote for this candidate in the Liberal Party, you're going to get the same shit we had for the last 10 years. It's just going to have a fresh face. So careful. What are you saying? Get that Trump gold card. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I had the money, yeah, sure. I hear Carney is gaining a lot of momentum. Yeah, well, okay. I don't know if you can believe everything you hear, but yeah, according to some polling, yeah, he's actually either in the lead or just slightly behind. But I don't believe those polling. Like, I think this is the same shit that they've been trying in the States for the last bunch of elections. Where they say, "Oh, the liberals are leading," or the Dems in your case are leading, and they're not actually leading. So Carney is well acquainted with Trump. His firm apparently does deals with the Kushners. Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably why Trump kind of low key gave him his endorsement, which sucks. Isn't that good for you? You're in construction, right? Yeah. Well, no, it could be. It could be good for me, but either is going to be good. That would be good if like the liberals get in and they do what they say they're going to do. It would be good. Yeah, because of my line of work. But Polivier's plan seems better to me. Seems like it's more. I don't know. Like it just seems like it has more actual incentives tied to it. So you're incentivizing communities and municipalities to build homes and to get rid of the red tape. So all the um, permits and all that kind of stuff. The delays and all the permits and things like that to get these things going. You know how many job sites back in the day I would work on that were like they had stop work orders on the doors and we would just work through them. Like it's ridiculous. And I don't know if it's the same in the States, but in Canada it's pretty bad that way. It's they'll put a stop work order on for almost anything, and then it takes forever to get them off. You're just better off working through it and then taking the slap on the wrist, whatever you're gonna get. But so yeah, maybe it might be good. We'll see. I do fix up a lot of rentals. That's one of the things I do, but I'm in the process now of flipping one. I bought a flip property, so I'll be flipping one. I'll be getting into that more. So hopefully, a little change in the government will help with that too, right? So, you're a geologist. Oh, that's cool. Have you found any dinosaurs? I'm in mineral exploration. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool, man. That's it sounds boring, but I know it's not. That's pretty cool stuff. I'd enjoy that. I think a lot of schooling, I'm sure. But anyways, all right, gentlemen, let's get on to the next thing. This one's probably gonna leave me talking a little bit. So Germany has had enough of being the I don't know, whatever, the non-militaristic country licking their wounds after two world wars. I think they've said sorry enough. So I think they're going to start to ramp up their military a little bit. I don't know how you feel about that, but whatever. Let's read this article here. This is the BBC, so we'll see what they have to say about this. Germany decides to leave history in the past and prepare for war. Missile launcher sends a cloud of brown dust into the air as it hurtles across a field towards the firing line. Moments later comes a soldier's countdown from 5 to fire before a rocket roars into the sky. Way to start your stupid article. Like, that's stupid. Anyways, the blasts and booms from such military training exercises are so constant that locals in the nearby small town of Munster barely notice anymore. But life here is set to get even louder. Germany's military, the Bundeswehr? Bundeswehr? I don't even know how to say that. The Bundeswehr recently got the all clear for a massive increase in investment after Parliament voted to exempt defense spending from strict rules on debt. The country's top general has told the BBC the cash boost is urgently needed because he believes Russian aggression won't stop at Ukraine. It's probably not probably not wrong. I mean, potentially. It would depend. It depends on a number of things. But right now they're kind of being, they're being held back there in Ukraine. So if you believe if you believe from Russia's side that they're just trying to give themselves a buffer zone, and Ukraine is that, um, then yeah, there's no real worry about them going any further. But there's always a chance, I suppose. We are threatened by Russia. We are threatened by Putin. We have to do whatever is needed to deter that. He warns that NATO should be braced for a possible attack in as little as 4 years. No, they're worried because because Trump's not really backing them as much anymore. He's kind of pulling out of NATO a little bit, right? So now it's like, you're on your own. Defend yourself. No more free ride with U.S. military equipment. It's not about how much time I need. It's much more about how much time Putin gives us to be prepared, the defense chief says bluntly. And the sooner we are prepared, the better. That makes sense. You should be trying to take care of your own, your own austerity and your own borders. But if you've got a big juggernaut like the U.S. running around doing it for you, maybe you just sit back and let them. Canada. The pivot. So Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine has changed thinking in Germany profoundly. For decades, people here have been raised on a rejection of military might, acutely aware of Germany's past role as the aggressor in Europe. Well, you did pretty good in 2 world wars. Like, you were, like, if it wasn't for some meth, maybe you might we might all be speaking German. But so don't go too hard on yourselves here. We started 2 world wars, even though it's 80 years since World War II ended. The idea that Germans should stay out of conflicts is still very much in many people's DNA, explains Marcus Zener of the German Marshall Fund in Berlin. Some remain wary of anything that might be seen as militarism even now, and the armed forces have been chronically underfunded. There are voices cautioning, are we really on the right track? Is our threat perception right? When it comes to Russia, Germany has had a specific approach. Whilst countries like Poland and the Baltic states cautioned against getting too close to Moscow and increased their own defense spending, Berlin under former Chancellor Angela Merkel believed in doing business. Germany imagined it was delivering democratization by osmosis. But Russia took the cash and invaded Ukraine anyway. So in February 2022, a stunned Chancellor Olaf Scholz declared a national pivot in priorities. A Zeitenwende. I don't know. I can't speak German. I'm just trying to sound funny. That's when he committed a giant $100 billion euro. Ooh, geez. To boost the country's military and keep warmongers like Putin in check. But General Brewer says it wasn't enough. We filled up a little bit the potholes, he recounts, but it's really bad. Okay. So anyways, this is going to keep going for quite a little while. But yeah, the gist is here that looks like Germany has kind of had enough of just riding the coattails of the U.S. and NATO, and now they're going to start ramping up their military. This could be a good thing. I mean, Germany's always been kind of a good anchor in Europe there economically. So now if they were militaristically a good solid anchor, as long as they don't, get out of hand like they have in the past, this could be very good for stability in that region. And having another country guarding and not having the U.S. over there having to spend all their money is good for the U.S. obviously too. You can pull back a little bit, maybe start investing in some national projects like failing infrastructure and things like that. So I think it's a good thing. I mean, some people would be a little bit weary that that history repeats itself, but I don't know. I don't think so. It's a much different time now. Wars aren't fought with guns so much now. So this is just kind of like the theater. What you saying there, guys? Better speak to your cabbage-eating relatives, Joe. They're getting touchy again. Just now they start marching. Too bad the AFD isn't bigger and essentially been frozen out of power. Why do the Jerrys always manage to get on the wrong side of history? Soon they'll have no industry move, or no industry more. No more industry, I mean? They want to spend euro 850 billion rearming. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe it's a little little on the much. But realistically, if, like I said, if they do, and then they were to just sort of, take the NATO lead essentially in that region, well, that can get the U.S. kind of pulling out. If the administration that's currently in is so inclined. I mean, the Trump administration is obviously, but the next one that comes through may not be so inclined to pull out. But we'll have to see. Here we go again. Last time Russia and Germany fought, we all know what happened. I'm all for it. Yeah. It was it went a little funny. I mean, looked like Germany was going to kick their ass for a while, and then Russia, then you hit all the cold spots of Russia, and and the meth started running out, and the supply lines started, having problems. So, yeah, problems for those Germans trying to get through rough Russian terrain. So, it's sauerkraut, not cabbage. Isn't sauerkraut made of cabbage? Same shit, right? Yeah. So it could be good. Could be worrisome though. Like, we do know the Germans have a little bit of affliction for fighting. They want to get everybody. Maybe they take us over. Maybe we all speak the German. Nah, I think we're all right. Guys, look at this. I'm just plugging through today. It's only 7:31. I'm going to Vegas tomorrow, so I'm leaving for Vegas for 4 days. So, I at least I did the podcast tonight. Could have just skipped. Yep, cabbage eating. The cabbage. Pickles and cucumbers, they are the same. They're the same, man. One's an old cucumber. They're all cucumbers. One's just like a shriveled up old pickled cucumber. It's funny because I love cucumbers. Pickles, they're all right, but cucumbers for sure. No, I'm not going to the Bunny Ranch. If Chrissy were watching, she'd get mad. Your missus is a German or a cucumber? Well, it's a pickle. Which one is she? Yeah, no, I'm not going to the Bunny Ranch. It was funny though, because I would be curious to check it out, just because I've seen so many times on TV and stuff, but not check it out in the way you think. Now I'm going for a wedding. My niece has they're getting married, so finally after they've been together for a long time. They're not even high school sweethearts. They're like grade school sweethearts, which is kind of weird. But anyways, yeah. So I'll be in Vegas for 4 days. I'll do a little gambling. We'll see. Not much, but mostly just wedding, and then back. I'm planning on going to Vegas the end of May to play some World Series poker tournaments. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, just gonna go check it out. All right, I'm gonna get into the last one here, and then we can chit chat a little bit before I get off and go and pack and stuff. But don't ever mention the war, either one. Yeah. Oh shit. My ex-wife was a little kraut, so yeah. I used to say it all the time. I used to say, "Oh, like you almost got us." I said, "But not quite." So, you little German. I go, you don't rule everything. You were close. All right, let me get on this last thing here. Whoop. What's going on there? That's weird. Never seen that before. All right. Whoop. So everybody knows I love Clown World. Clown World's like one of my favorite sites here. It's on X. They post the funniest videos. I thought I'd do a little one here today, a little treat for you. A little street cooking treat. Let's check this out. Energy eggs, by the way. That's Monster that you just put in there. Ugh. Look at that pan. Look at that face. How much to eat that? I would eat that if I was starving. I bet he washes his hands a lot. I guess. Very clean. There's some more Monster in there. Delicious. good one. That's good. That get in there. And let's pour it on fucking leaves. Let's pour it on a bunch of leaves. Yummy. Delicious. No thanks. Yeah, I wouldn't eat that. I wouldn't eat that with. I wouldn't matter. I don't care how hungry I am. I'd never eat that. No way. Think that guy probably picks his nose, probably does all kinds of stuff, and he reaches in his dirty little hands, puts in that dirty little pan, cooks it, coughs on it, and monster with eggs. Fuck. Who even told him? Who even told him about this? It's like maybe he's like India's next greatest chef or something. He's like the Gordon Ramsay of India. He's like the I wouldn't even know what an Indian name would sound like. I was gonna attempt one, but I'm not gonna be that racist. Yeah, not good stuff. Disgusting. So, but still at the same time, pretty funny. What are you guys saying here? I mean, it's a protein and energy filled breakfast. Yeah. Heart attack, and you get, salmonella, and you get all kinds of stuff from that. Salmonella, that would be probably just getting the shits would be, I think, would be a win. If you eat that and you just get the shits, you're good, I think. Otherwise, I think you're probably getting much worse things, some heps and these kinds of things, Hep A, and, you name it. There's probably a lot of other stuff. Confucius say, man who cooks carrots and peas in same pot, very unsanitary. Yeah, I used to love the Confucius jokes. Confucius say, man who go to bed with itchy ass, wake up with stinky finger. Confucius say, man who go to bed horny, wake up with solution in hand. There you go. It's a couple of Confucius. I even got another one. Confucius say, couple who go on 7-day honeymoon make whole week. Oh, Confucius. Boogers are just seasonings? Yeah. Yeah. It's true. I should have. I couldn't kind of come up with a fast Indian name there. I hadn't pre-thought it. So I thought I had one for a second and then I kind of lost it. But anyways, whatever. Yeah. So, all right. Look at that. We're at 38 minutes. I just blast through it today. I didn't really have a lot to talk about. Whatever. Nothing was interesting me. I was going to talk a little bit more about the Musk, the Tesla shit and stuff like that, but I'm so sick of that crap. Fucking retards going around and attacking Tesla dealerships and people's Teslas. Like, fuck. We live in a really stupid time. VJ sign. Yeah. Huh? I was trying to think of a cook's name that was like Gordon Ramsay or something. Like whatever. I'm drawing a blank. But VJ Singh. We old. Yeah, we old. We old for sure. Yeah. Anyways. All right. Well, listen, gentlemen. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go pack. I'm gonna go eat something. Those eggs made me hungry. Watching that guy cook those eggs like that, delicious. So I just I'm gonna have to go eat some eggs. Maybe go pour some Red Bull in one or something. I don't have any Red Bull, but actually I might have a Monster. Make some energy eggs. Let me get over to this one. Boom, there we are. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with me. Robert, Joe, always a pleasure, guys. And anybody else who jumped in but didn't jump into the chat, I hate that. If you jump in as a viewer, jump into the chat. I'm here. Talk. Just say something. Say howdy. Say something funny. Whatever. Slots. No slots. Fuck slots. Poker, man. I'm not doing slots. Although when I was in Vegas, the last time, which was in 2019 or 18, I played one slot while I was waiting for a buddy to go to the washroom, and I dropped $20 in it, and I cashed out like 190. It hit something. I don't even know if the fuck it hit. It's like it's one of those ones with all the fucking Chinese writing or some shit. It was just like it's like throwing up all the shit, and I'm like, oh, fuck me. Sometimes it does that. It's like exaggerates, and then you win nothing. It's like, oh, 30 cents. But this time I was like, oh shit, I got some money, and then I blew it all back. Usually waiting for people to go to the toilet. So, all right, Robert, see you, brother. Thanks for joining. Joe, obviously, thank you, buddy. Everyone else, if you watched and you did not chat, thanks for watching. And if you're not yet a subscriber and you do like the channel, do hit the subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, as you know. And yeah, support the small channel. Like, comment, share, all that kind of stuff. Look for videos. I drop anything I talk about in the podcast. Not anything, I shouldn't say, because not all of them. Depends on what I think will do well as a video. I'll drop it during the week between Tuesday and Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And obviously, like, share, comment, all that kind of stuff on that. Helps a small channel if you want to. If you don't want to, well, fuck. That's your choice. Whatever you like. But if you do want to see me keep doing this, that's the best way to get me to keep doing this. And yeah, do jump in the comments, because these guys will talk to you. I will talk to you. And we'll have some fun. So thanks. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Joe. What are you saying there? Are you going to hit Gordon Ramsay restaurants? We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure. Only there for basically not even 4 days, really. Like, well, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. So it's like not even. It's like 3.5 days. So not a lot of time to do too much. But I'll try and play a little bit of poker. Do some other stuff. We'll see. But should be all right. I hear the fish and chips place is fire. Yeah, you know what? I did hear that too. So yeah, I should probably try that. I love fish and chips. Good fish and chips. Oh, beautiful. Good food. All right. Thank you. See you, Joe. Robert's already gone. But I'll see you next week, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Monday, April 6th, 7th? I don't even know what it is. Next Monday. All right. Till then, we'll see you then. Bye-bye then.